This is NR2003 Predicts. We take the entry list of the top 3 NASCAR series, run them through the N ratings algorithm, set them up by their provisional lineup, and see what the computer says will be the finishing order on race day. It was an AJ Allmendinger day. In the Xfinity race, he wins, followed by Austin Hill making his Cup debut today. Noah Gragson, who was the heavy favorite in 3rd, John Hunter Nemechek 4th, and Josh Berry 5th. Kyle Weatherman with a top 10 qualifying run finishes 11th, and then a lot of big hitters dropping out due to accidents. Brandon Jones, Daniel Hemrick involved in some of those, several of them on the front straightaway. Sheldon Creed as well back in 36th. Not a good run for his playoff hopes. And now it is time for the Cup event here at Michigan. Bubba Wallace, Christopher Bell, Kyle Busch, Toyota's top 3. First career pole for Bubba Wallace. We are green here at Michigan. And immediately, that front row is going to get sucked up by Kyle Busch straight to the front. Austin Cindric and Martin Truex Jr. following. As now both Wallace and Bell trapped on the outside line, and Wallace sliding just up the racetrack. And Bell's going to be able to get underneath him. Now the pole sitter back just inside the top 5 and continuing to drop. If there's a name you have to be looking at here that's not in the Toyota camp, it's Chase Elliott. 7.7 average finish. Well above anyone else in the field today. And he is in this tight situation as he does not have a good running position at the moment. Almost 4 wide there. Here's another driver that's really successful here. Kevin Harvick. 5 victories at this racetrack. More than anyone else in today's race. But he is also struggling for track position. Here comes Denny Hamlin up on the top lane. He is trying to fight his way inside the top 10. He has 10 top 5s here along with Truex, who is up there battling Kyle Busch for the lead at the moment. 17 top 10s here for Joey Logano. At the moment, he is outside the top 10, though, so he is trying to find his way into a better position. Looks like there's a bit of separation between the entire field. And Kyle Busch has led a decent number of laps here as Tyler Reddick tries to chase him down. He's adding to that total now. Kurt Busch would be above Kyle, except he's not in this race, so not on the list for now. But he would be up there in the grouping that has a lot of laps led here. And trouble here. Justin Haley getting spun around by Kevin Harvick. They both go into the turn 1 wall. Looks like Harvick tried to dig it in deeper than Haley did. And the 31 goes around, but the 4 takes a solid hit into the wall as well. Looks like they'll stay in the race for now as we head back to the green flag with just a few laps left in stage 1. Tyler Reddick with a great jump. Kyle Busch cannot get going. But it looks like there's going to be a lot of changing of the lead right here in this short dash to the finish, and Truex Jr. will be the one that ends up getting out to the front by the time the stage ends. Blaney, Larson, Almirola, and Chastain make up the top 5. Kyle Busch, who led the way to the restart, ends up in 7th. Now we get going once again on stage 2. Stages 2 and 3, much longer than stage 1 was, just 45 laps in that one. And Truex Jr. trying to get up to speed. Unfortunately, doesn't look like he's going to be able to hold up with Blaney. And the pole sitter, Bubba Wallace. He's got a mechanical issue. Might be an engine problem, as he ducks down to the inside of the racetrack to stay out of everyone's way. But the pole sitter is looking like he's going to be out in this one. Very unfortunate right there. So Wallace will end up in last place. Looking at the most recent race winner, Tyler Reddick. A great performance in the Indianapolis road course race where Wallace finished top 5, and there were 3 other rookies inside the top 5 as well, Cindric, Gilliland, and Burton. Here's the most recent winner at this racetrack, who we saw out in front just a moment ago, but he is sliding backwards now in the 8th position. Might be going a little bit further, and Kyle Busch now with engine problems. Now suddenly we've got Toyotas who were really fast in qualifying, suddenly dropping out in this one, is now the 18 car. Looks like he's going to be out. And this is just before green flag pit stops take place. Kevin Harvick's going to be the first one to duck down. Oh, in trouble here in turn 4. Harrison Burton getting into Justin Haley, and he goes spinning right into the 2 leaders. Ross Chastain into the barrier. Almirola also involved, but the 1 car who took over the lead in the middle of the green flag pit stops runs straight into the barrels, and he's going to be out in this one. Now on the restart, Austin Hill making his Cup debut, stayed out as some other cars pitted during the caution, decided he was good with his service and is now taking over the lead, although he has dropped back. We see Ty Gibbs might have had a problem during the caution, and he's not running up the speed, filling in for Kurt Busch for the third straight week. We see Kyle Larson out in front. He's taking over the lead. Chase Elliott trying to track him down, but he'll be unable to. As they get to the end of Stage 2, Larson takes the win. Blaney actually got by Elliott for second. Almirola and Truex Jr. will make up the top 5, and Austin Hill will get some stage points. He ends up in 9th place. And now we head into Stage 3. It is Larson and Blaney side by side, but the 12 car gets the better jump. Looks like that outside line is just running a lot better, and really, you want to be on the outside line through the corners. 4 wide here in the back, and trouble as Yaley goes around. Squeezed in with Cody Ware, Josh Bilicki. Noah Gragson was on the inside, but didn't touch any of that. But the 15 car goes around. And now bring out another caution, and we restart once again, and the outside line jumps once again. Bell with a great start with Suarez behind him. On trouble here, BJ McLeod out of power going into turn 1. Both the Spire Motorsport cars will drive right into him. LaJoy drives in the back, and Josh Bilicki also involved. Troubles here suddenly. A lot of incidents on the racetrack, and now Blaney will have the ability to jump out. And now it looks like we have a 4-car breakaway. That's Elliott, Blaney, Hamlin, and Bell, who are way out in front of the rest of the field. If they can stay green, it looks like it'll come down to these 4. We see a line of cars right here. Michael McDowell trying to make his way by. The Front Row Motorsports team dropped their appeal of a penalty on body modifications. They kept their team together for Indianapolis in the meantime and ended up finishing top 10 in that race. Oh, trouble here. Austin Hill way into the wall, and Josh Bilicki also involved. 77 car spinning around, and a big hit for Austin Hill, who's going to drive it around, but that cannot continue. Rough debut for Hill, and it looks like they're actually going to stay green, which is surprising, but it looks like Bilicki was in the back of the field. So the leaders will come down. Bell will wait just a little bit, and as they cycle around, it looks like Elliott will be the one out in front, and Blaney is still within striking distance. So now it's a 2-car battle as Bell and Hamlin have fallen away from this group. And now here comes Blaney to the inside using Cole Custer as a pick. The 41 car's going a little bit slower, and Blaney's able to get by, squeezing the 9 car up into the lane that Custer was driving. And at the moment, it is Blaney out in front as they take the white flag. Just a little bit of lap traffic in front. That's Reddick and LaJoy. The 7 car has a lot of damage. Not sure about the 8 car. He might be okay, but Blaney is coming up on them fast. He needs a victory, Blaney does, to make sure that his playoff spot is guaranteed. He is currently in one of the 2 open spots, but none of those are guaranteed. A win will do that, and he is trying to get underneath LaJoy and Reddick, and here comes Elliott. He's making a charge as Blaney gets held up by the traffic, but will it be enough? No, it will be back-to-back victories at Michigan for Ryan Blaney. Make it 15 winners on the season as the 12 car goes to victory lane here today. And that puts all the pressure on Martin Truex Jr. If someone else gets a victory, he is suddenly on the outside of the playoff conversation. Elliott will come home second. A great run by Eric Jones to get up to third. Christopher Bell fourth, Joey Logano fifth, and Denny Hamlin, who was in that conversation earlier, ends up in 6th place. Kyle Larson, who won the second stage, finishes 7th. Just on the outside of the top 10 was Suarez and McDowell. And Truex Jr., who needs that victory or someone else to not win, is in 14th. Alex Bowman had a rough qualifying run. He ends up in 18th spot, 1 lap down. Ty Gibbs would be 24th in his 3rd appearance in the 45 car. And those rookies that benefited from the chaos at Indianapolis were unfortunate here today not to finish inside the top 20. And then here's all the drivers that dropped out of the race. Austin Hill with a big crash with Bilicki, Chastain going into the barriers, Kyle Busch, and Wallace with mechanical issues. That is it for NR2003 Predicts. We hope you enjoyed the race, and we will see you all next time.